In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you should structure your day if you're currently a solopreneur. So a solopreneur is anybody who doesn't have any support in their business. You're by yourself, no team members, no outsourcing, anything like that. You're currently running your business on your own. So there's two important buckets to think about when you think about your schedule for the week or for the day, right? So you want to think about working on your business and working in your business. So you're going to have to work in your business if you are a solopreneur. You don't have any support. But you still need to work on your business and do higher level tasks to make sure you're moving the needle forward and getting closer to having the support that you want in your business. So I'm going to kind of talk about how you can structure your day and then also how you can potentially structure your week with that in the business on the business concept. The first thing I want to talk about is non-negotiables. So non-negotiables are things that you do every single day and they are absolutely non-negotiable. They are needle movers for your business to make sure that you are getting closer to success on the daily basis. So for those non-negotiables, you need to make sure that these are revenue driving in most cases, right? Because right now you're in a situation where you're a solopreneur because you don't have the revenue or the cash collection in order to support team members that can take care of your lower level tasks. So right now, in the stage that you're in, the most important thing is to drive revenue and provide results for your clients. Those two things are super important because the more results you provide for your clients, the more you'll get referrals, the more you'll have testimonials, stuff like that. The more revenue you produce, the more room you have to take on team members, right? So the first thing that you want to think about with your non-negotiables is what actually moves the needle for me closer to revenue. And depending on your business model, it could be a number of different things. Maybe you generate a majority of your business off of cold email. Maybe you generate a majority of your business off of cold direct messages. Maybe you generate a bulk of your business off of content. Depending on what moves the needle and gets you the most clients right now, you want to make sure that that becomes a non-negotiable moving forward for your business. So non-negotiables, I think of them as the needle movers for where we're currently at in our business. And these will change over time because as you delegate certain pieces of your business, you won't have to do them anymore. They will no longer be non-negotiables for you. But right now, think about what drives revenue for my business, what actually moves that needle forward, and make part of your daily routine and that you're consistently hitting that and you're making them non-negotiables. Like they are absolutely not negotiable. Now, the next thing is we like to move into a power list. So your non-negotiables are a simple list of items that you need to hit every single day. They're absolutely non-negotiable and they are absolutely 100% necessary in order to move the needle forward in your business. But our power list is 5 items that you accomplish every single day that are outside of your non-negotiables, but that are important to your business. And they can be as small as updating a website or something like simple that might take 10 minutes to as large as a 2-hour project. But you want to make sure that you're not locking yourself in for 18 hours a day. Everybody glorifies the life of working 18 hours a day. And truth is, you got in business to have time freedom. You got in business to be able to spend time with your loved ones. And you're not in business to just stay attached to a desk all day. So the power list allows you to accomplish 5 items that are outside of your non-negotiables that will move the needle forward even further and take another step forward, but also allow you to move away from your desk as soon as you get those 5 things done. So the power list is an indicator that shows you, okay, I've accomplished these 5 things. I'm done with my non-negotiables. Work is over for the day. I'm moving on. I'm going to go spend some time in nature, going to go out with, a loved one, whatever the case may be. But that power list allows you to stay disciplined to also taking time away from the business. Because one thing I want to mention here is that flooding your calendar with more things to do, keeping yourself busy, it really just takes up space in your mind where you can't find solutions as well, right? The time we take away from a problem is usually the time that we find the solution. So I want you to think about that with your current daily structure. If you're somebody who's just like locking yourself into busy activities because it feels good, understand that you're not allowing space for solutions to problems in your business to flow to you. And that's a very important piece of business, is allowing yourself that space to have solutions intuitively come to you. So the next thing I want to talk about is that concept of on the business, in the business. So if you are a solopreneur and you're able to figure out what your daily non-negotiables are, and then daily you create those 5 power list items, now you've got a hang of like what your daily structure is. But I also want to talk about weekly structure, because if you are a solopreneur, you have to spend some days in the business and some days on the business, right? So in the business means that you're working on lower level tasks, and these are tasks that you can typically delegate as time goes on and as you get the cash flow in order to do so. But, it's really doing the nitty-gritty work that moves the needle forward, sending the direct messages, sending the, cold emails, creating the content. That's working in the business. Working on the business is working on the overall mission, right? So working on what are the big levers that I can pull in order to move the needle forward. Maybe it's creating standard operating procedures for what you're currently doing so that you can delegate to somebody else when you have the finances in order to do so. Maybe it is figuring out what your mission statement is, figuring out those different types of levers so that you can actually create a team that is culturally driven by your mission, right? So working on the business is thinking about the higher level tasks, right? Thinking about the higher level vision of the company. What can move the needle forward in the next 5 years as opposed to the next week, right? The next month. We're thinking bigger vision with on the business. So typically what I recommend to solopreneurs who are locked in the day-to-day of their business is that really 4 days of your week should be working in the business, and then 1 day of the week should be working on the business, because reality is right now most of your time has to be focused in the business because you don't have any support. But you need to at least spend 1 day thinking about the higher level things, expanding the consciousness of what your business has the opportunity to do, right? So that's a really important piece of business, is understanding that balance. As you delegate lower level tasks, now you can spend more time and more days on the business instead of in the business. So the other thing that I really didn't mention in the non-negotiables piece is also thinking about the servicing of clients, right? Because revenue driving activities are really important for a solopreneur because you need support. You need to be able to delegate those lower level tasks so that you can focus on other things. But what's equally important is providing extremely successful client results so that you can leverage those case studies, leverage those testimonials to grow your business, and also create that allure of you need to work with this individual because of the results that they provide for their clients. So really with those daily non-negotiables, you are splitting them up between revenue driven activities. So one way that you could do this is, let's say you're looking at a 5-day work week. And let's say you're able to finesse your schedule to the point where 2 of those 5 days are focused on clients. As I mentioned, at least one of those days, you want to think about working on the business, not in the business. So now you have 4 days to work with, right? And the best way that I tell my clients to really structure their schedule is by making one of those 4 days a client day. That's the day where you focus on clients, you focus on needle moving activities. Maybe it's one-on-one calls, maybe it's group calls, maybe it's being super engaging in your community, doing live trainings, whatever the case may be. And then those other 3 days are focused on revenue driving activities. Now, truth is, you'll always have to balance both until you can delegate the lower level revenue driving activities. You'll always have to focus on both client fulfillment and revenue drive until you can delegate those lower level tasks. So you just need to be able to really figure out how to structure your schedule so that you're not wearing 100 hats in one day. That's the biggest problem I see is if we're working on revenue driving activities, we're working on client fulfillment, we're working on the business, we're working on the vision all in one day, we're wearing 100 different hats and we're not being the A+ player that we need to be with one single hat. We're being a C- with 6 different hats, right? So structure your week in a way where you're wearing 1 and at the most 2 hats in one day so that you can really perform as an A+ player with whatever hat you're wearing in your business. Unfortunately, this is a piece of business. You have to be the hustler. You have to work all phases of business at some point in order to position yourself as the CEO of a large company. So I hope that this was super helpful for you to figure out your daily structure, your weekly structure of your business, and that you can figure out your daily non-negotiables, you can figure out your power list, and you can figure out how to divvy up your days so that you're working on the business and in the business, and being able to really structure that in a way that moves the needle forward. So I hope that this was helpful for you. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe, share with a friend, comment your thoughts. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I always want to be able to provide you with a ton of support, and I will actually answer your questions with videos if you go ahead and drop them below. Appreciate you guys checking this one out. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one.